This video gives an outline of our new product, Daily Church. Websites for Christians has just released this product, and we think it will make a big difference to making it easy to keep your website up to date. You can see there's a number of panels here, from activities through to books and teaching and events and rotas and so on. To get to it, you log into your website as normal, click on Components, click on Website Manager. You might have other things here to what we've got on our site, but it doesn't matter, just say Website Manager, click on that, and that will bring you into Daily Church. You can see it's quite easy to navigate: activities, events, rotas, magazines, teaching and sheets. I'll go through briefly now what each of these is, and then we'll provide more videos that go into far more detail about each of them. So if we look at activities first of all, you can see here a list of activities. The day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on, and then the activity here. This is called the list view, and in fact all of the views look the same for all of the different things. So for events you get the same kind of idea. You get a list of events. For rotas you get a list of rotas. For magazines, a list of magazines, and so on. So if we jump back to activities and look at the list here, you can see we've got early morning breakfast club, Bible study, and we've got a test event here which is turned off, and so on. Now these display on the front end of the website completely differently. So if I flip to that, you can see, here we go, it starts on a Sunday and moves through to the Saturday. Now we've set it up here so that it has a certain look to it, but it doesn't have to look that way on your website. We can easily style it to fit with what you would like. You can see that morning worship is a Sunday activity, an afternoon praise service. You of course could have an evening service as well. You could start on a Sunday or on a Monday depending on what you want to do. You can see these activities relate to the activities listed. So Monday we've got early morning breakfast club, we've got teaching series, youth club, and so on. So if we flip back to the list view, see early morning breakfast club, Bible study, youth club, and so on. If we now turn on this test event here we go. You can see it says it's published now, test event. If we go back to the activities and refresh the page, yep, test event now appears, and it automatically puts it in the correct place depending on what time you've set for the event. You'll notice as well these events are actually in 12-hour clock, so we don't show for 7:30, it would be 19:30. We don't show that, we show it as 12-hour. But of course that's actually converted automatically for you, so you put it in a 24-hour clock and it automatically converts. You can look through each of these in turn. You could click into the detail. So from the list view you go into this detail view and you can see all the different things that you might be able to put in: the start time, the end time, and notes about the event. Actually what we're doing is we're displaying these notes. So early morning breakfast club, if we flip back, early morning breakfast club, we're actually showing that text on the listing that the visitor would see. So early morning breakfast club, please come early. If I save that and then we go back to the listing, you'll see that it automatically adds in to the text here. So a really easy way to keep your activities during the week up to date. So if I just close that now, back to the list view, we can now look at events. Before we do that though, there's this thing called dashboard up here. So if you ever want to go back to that initial view, you can just click on dashboard. and it'll take you into activities, events, rotas, and so on from here as well. So if I click on events, you can see that it lists out the events. Events appear on the front of the site like this. You can see summer club and so on. Now all of these things are actually configurable, so although we put this title on here and the date and time and the owner and then the text, none of that has to appear. You can decide exactly what appears here. So if I click into Summer Club, you can see here that the owner is Angela Walker too, and indeed if we go back to events, you can see Angela Walker up here, and then we have our Summer Club welcomes teenagers, Summer Club, the nice image and so on, and a start time and an end time on here as well. Now in this case we also include a little event note. I think we included the event note on here, but again that doesn't have to be shown. All of it's configurable depending on what you want. But of course, like the activities I just showed you, if you want to actually type some extra text in there, so it says this year will be the abominable snowman in the mountains of Scotland. Just click save, and that will now update it to add that text in here when we refresh the page. So very easy if you discover a mistake or you want to make an update to event to add some more text in. And as with activities, this is all predefined by us, but it can look whatever way you want. The whole point about Daily Church is to make it very configurable but easy to use. If I close this now and jump back to the lists here, we've got activities, events we've looked at, rotas then. We've got a flower rota, a preaching rota, and a tea and coffee rota. And if we look on here, we've got the preaching rota, the flower rota, and so on. And here we've got the contact being Eddie Randolph, a short prayer session, a little note, and then the list of people. We go back here and look at the preaching rota. Right. It takes a second to load up. You can see that you can easily add people, take people away. So if we wanted to change Eddie Randolph to someone else, is it Matthias Little? Okay, you can see that it's as simple as that, and we click save. Again, we actually track with rotas. It's a bit different to the other systems in that it actually sends out reminder emails to people. So we've got reminder sent, yes or no, and the reminder mail here sent 5 days before. Dear, hi, person name, this is a reminder you're on this rota on this day and that your role is doing this, and so on. And we also have a send for all, so that when you first create the rota, you can send it to everyone, all the members of the rota. This is quite a smart little system, worthwhile looking out for the more full video on this because it will give you a lot of detail about how to create and manage these rotas. After the rotas then we get magazines. Just again what you'd expect. Magazines, newsletters, gazettes, doesn't matter what you want to call them. They're basically that piece of, that document that you give to your members to tell them what's going on in the church. So this is the magazine demo. Easy again to call it newsletter, gazette, whatever. You can also have your own icons in here, and these can differ from newsletter or magazine to magazine. And when you click on it, it should open up in another view. Just takes a minute. There you go. Now we've obviously got fake text in there. That could be anything you want. Yep, and 2018, 2017. Again, all highly configurable. We've got it in a very open layout here, but you can have it basically configured as you like. After magazines, we've got teaching series. The teaching series is just what it says really. teaching series demo. So we've got Jonathan Shepherd. So it's Jonathan Shepherd speaking in John 3:16 or 1 Kings Eddie Randolph passage 1. We've arranged it that way to show that we can put the Bible passage first and then the person's name and then text. We could equally well change it round so it's the other way. Again, highly configurable. And the final one that we're showing at the moment, that we're including at the moment, is Sheets. Now, the Sheets is designed to allow you to put up your the sheet that you give out, the intimations or the service sheet or whatever. Again, you can click on this, you can add text. Now in this case we've just changed the colouring a bit to put green background with some text. All of this again very easily configurable. If we go into here and click on it, you could just add some text in here or images or links to other pages. A couple more things to just talk about briefly. We use people, roles and books inside all of these other things. And so as you can imagine with rotas, obviously it has to refer to people. So we've put in a whole lot of fake people, if you like, here with different email addresses and stuff like that to allow you to figure out what's going on. And then of course we get roles and responsibilities, preacher, chairman and so on. There's not much to these. These are just things that are used by other areas of the system. You can add descriptions and stuff and whatever, but they are used by other areas and they are configurable by you too. Okay, so I think that's about it for now for the introductory overview of the system. If you have questions, as always, send them to support or give us a call and we'll be happy to explain to you anything about the new system.